Hello and good night, everybody. We're back with D1 E-Drift Series, Week 2, Top 8 Finals Double Elimination. We have Going Crazy as the cone car and judge. We have LDT Justin as a judge, and he's running the stream as well. We have Baggish as a judge as well, and yours truly, Gabe for reals. And we're going to have all these drivers get ready and get them lined up soon for them to get their runs started and start these battles off. Right now, the drivers are just getting some practice in. We have a lot of great drivers. You may know all of them from our previous week's battles. We got Damian Bro, Ruthless James, Katsuhara, Kyoto Temple. We got Agreed, Captain Tokes, Outlaw, and No Slide.
Should be a
So
rip roaring evening here. Should be a lot
yeah,
of good competition, a lot of fun tandems. Should be some entertaining event here to watch.
that it
Definitely,
is.
definitely. So first up on the bracket, we do have Outlaw from GDA, and then we got Ruthless from Hellbound. They're gonna be first up on this double elimination bracket for the night.
So for practice shows in here to finish warming these guys
Let
up.
these guys run here for a minute. So this is our sixth stream in 2 weeks for the 2-week tournament. We still have the finale on Monday. It's the top 4 of each week. And then we'll pull from the qualifying bracket if we got to fill any spots. And that'll also be a top 8 double elimination bracket.
Hey, quick question. So Ashland isn't in it this week?
He was in it on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I said he was here Wednesday. What he said, he was like he lost, so he was like he didn't think he had.
I think we had to eliminate 2 drivers. I don't remember if he was one of the eliminations.
There was 2, and then we had to fill a spot, and then we had the spot filled for the top 8, and then he showed. Is how that went.
So he's not. Oh, all right. So he's not in this week.
Well, so what I'm saying, I just what just happened. So we had a top 8 to do, and then we had to fill a spot because I needed a driver to fill in. And when I asked, I had a driver fill. After that spot was filled and he was locked into the bracket, then Ashton said if we needed somebody to fill to let him know.
Oh, all right. Bet. Okay.
So I mean,
like
that's
I said, I ain't got a problem with it. I was just because I see like pretty much everybody.
He was.
Wednesdays.
No. I'm not saying by any means that he wasn't here. I'm just saying in the order that went when I was setting this back up. We got to that point of filling a bracket spot, and when I filled the bracket, then something was mentioned. So I was just kind of at a deadlock. Do I kick the driver that just filled the spot and he's locked into the bracket ready to go, or
Yeah, you good. You good. You good.
I mean, that's just I was deadlocked. I didn't know where to go with it.
You good.
But we do have Outlaw and Ruthless up first.
All right, let's get these guys lined up and get this going here.
Yep, we need to get these boys lined up, get them racked and stacked up at the start line.
Normal tomfoolery from IMP Damien.
Always. He's always doing something, man. He's always up to something.
Parking lot derby going on.
Musical chairs, parking lot, musical chairs.
Excuse me.
All right, first up, Outlaw and Ruthless.
All right, let's get these guys going.
Kick this off. You got that bracket ready? Are those names ready, Justin?
We're good to go. Sorry, my mic was muted.
All right, here we go. First run of the night.
All right, we got Outlaw in the lead. Ruthless is the chase. Outlaw's getting a good lead here. Coming into the first Might have been a tire drop on that first center clip. Coming out to the second, touch and go here into the third, into that decel zone, pulling that e-brake with Ruthless. James ended up having to spin out and shut it down. Not sure what happened
I
there.
think
He
there was
wasn't
some type of
anticipating that.
lag or something going on with that run. Even though we're
Could
just
have been.
finishing it up, I think there's some lag or something going on with that. Most definitely. He was late off the start too, and he don't drive like that. That's not how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Just off my experience with him as a driver, that's not. Something wasn't right there with connection.
Quick
I want to run it
question.
back.
What happened at the start? It was like a tremendous gap.
That's what I'm saying. Off that
Yeah.
start line, James is normally right there. I'm
Mhm.
almost 100% positive there's a connection issue of some sort with the run that just happened, because he doesn't normally drop off the line like that with somebody.
Yeah, I just run that back. That's what we say.
Yeah. Yep.
I think
Whenever cone cars are.
either way, James spun out and Outlaw hit that wall and basically stopped anyway. So it's a double DNF in our heat run anyway.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, we just need a run back just for
Reed's in the
clarification on what
lobby.
happened
It
here.
was laggy.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. Getting a rerun in due to some technical issues, it looks like. Into the first outer zone, into the second. Good transition there. A little shallow. Ruthless. Oh no! Outlaw ended up dropping 2 tires for a DNF on his first run on his lead. They're going to finish it out and get lined up back at the start for Outlaw to be in the chase. Ruthless is going to take his lead. That was unfortunate. It just looks like Outlaw was coming in a little too hot. Wasn't able to decel the way he wanted to, and car just slid out from underneath him.
Ready with cone cars ready.
All right, we're back at it again. Here we go into the initiation and the first center clip. Ruthless doing a great job here coming into the touch and goes with Outlaw on his tail. Good chase here by Outlaw. Little contact there, pushing Ruthless out a little bit farther than he'd like to be in that inner clip. Coming out to the final touch and go with a tire over the sidewalk, but I think that was over the finish, past the finish line, so he should be good there.
Good run, good run.
Definitely. Double tire drop on Outlaw for that third outer. Or
Yeah,
touch and go.
That's
So
good.
with the DNF on that run, it's definitely just going to go to Ruthless. Tire drop on the finish being contradicting. It's really not worth the look back just for the DNF with the solid run on his lead.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Next up, we have a Damien Bro from Imperium and Agreed with NFGA.
All right, we got the rivalry up here. Agreed and Damien.
And whenever Cone Car is ready,
Is Damien leading?
Damien is leading.
All right.
All right, here we go. Got Agreed in the chase. Damien in the lead up to the first inner clip. Beautiful job there. Coming into the touch and goes. Outer zones. Into the third one in the decel. 2 tires up on the sidewalk by Damien into the inner clip. And third touch and go as we come across the last one into the finish line. Unfortunately, that is going to be a non-complete run by Damien. Very unfortunate. He's one of our top drivers for sure. Podium multiple times. Just didn't have one of his best runs there, unfortunately.
And whenever Cone Car is ready.
Anything can happen. anything can happen.
For real, anything really can happen, man. All right, we got Greed initiating. Damian Bro in the chase. First zone is beautiful. Second zone, beautiful into the third. Into the decel in the inner clip. Beautiful zones here by Greed. Damian Bro is doing his job by staying right on that door the entire time.
That's gonna go to a group.
Chase.
Straight up held Greed's hand. Yeah, that a beautiful chase by Damian, bro. He might have even had that battle if he just didn't drop 2 tires.
So next we got up
Even the best.
in Kyoto Temple.
Who was that? Temple and who?
Temple.
No slide.
And Temple's leading.
No slide will be leading.
All right.
And whenever cone car is ready, we'll be good to go.
Alright, we're just waiting for these guys to line up. Get ready here. Alright, we're sending them off. No slides in the lead. Temple in the chase. LT Kyoto initiating into the first inner clip. A little wide there by no slide. Into the touch and goes. A little shallow on that first one. Good second zone to the third one. Missing the inner clip into zone 3. A little shaky there from no slide. And missing the final zone.
All right, not too bad for a guy that hasn't been here all week.
Yeah.
Been out making that living.
That was his first time showing it up in this week 2 comp on this track.
And whenever cone car is ready.
All right. Side's gonna take his chase run. Anything can still happen, guys. Temple in the lead. But if I know Temple, he's a solid driver. He's gonna get up on these zones. Maybe even knock that sign down for us. Coming to that decel in the inner clip. Going out to the zone 4, knocks the sign, and comes over the finish with the last zone.
Solid.
Beautiful.
Even with the contact on the finish, he still held it and kept the tires off the curb.
I know.
Yeah, amazing.
That's a clear run to me. That's going to Temple.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
God, that is a sick looking Mustang.
Next we got up Captain Tokes and Kai Soharu.
Agree wants to know if we taking another pick from
Yes, after for the podium we will. Yeah. We had people dip off on the last one and we weren't able to get the picture.
Captain Tokes and Katsuhara.
Cat's gonna be in the chase.
All right, here we go. We got the Audi versus R35.
I'm ready whenever cone car's ready.
All right, here we go.
Captain Tokes in the lead. Katsuhara in the chase. Putting a tire up on that first inner clip and the first outer zone. Captain Tokes comes in the second zone into the third with the decel in that second inner clip. Katsuhara right there with him, trying to close that gap and get on that door as they cross the finish line with another tire on the sidewalk, but that one might have been over the finish line. So it looks like he might just only have 2. Solid run, living on the edge for sure. Captain Tokes put it all out there on the field.
All right, whenever you're ready, Justin.
All right, we got Katsuhara in the
No, I'm ready
lead.
whenever car's ready.
All right, here we go. Sun ready up.
No car
And
setting
go.
them off. Katsuhara's in the lead. The first inner clip a little wide to this first outer zone. Beautiful first outer zone into the second. Sweeping across that light pole into the D-cell on zone 3. And overshoots it and spins it almost into the inner clip. Critical angle might have been on Katsuhara, but that was a bit rusty. He ended up trying to save it, bringing that into that last inner clip, which he did, but he was extremely wide, missing it, forcing him to have to make some weird moves there to try to bring it back in. I don't know what the judges are going to call that, but we'll just have to see.
I hate to be the one to bring it up, but I mean, was just for clarification, was that contact from Captain that made that happen?
I'm watching it over and over again right now to see.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not saying it was. I'm
I'm not
asking
either.
to verify.
I don't know right now because my YouTube is frozen, so I can't even look at the replay.
We're gonna cut to an intermission real quick, and then we'll be back. We're gonna check this out. Alright, so we're back. After reviewing, we are going to go with Tokes. Tokes will take that.
And the conclusion was because Tokes, the contact was not enough to warrant spin out. It was only enough to warrant a wide zone, and the spin out is on him, not on Captain Tokes. It's on Katsuhara. So.
Yep, we're going to have Ruthless and Agreed.
And here we go.
Yeah, my bad on that last run to the drivers. I couldn't cast my vote. I still can't refresh my fucking YouTube. I don't know what's going on. Like I'm stuck. It's like buffering right now.
Is it on smart TV?
No, I'm on my computer and shit. I got my monitors. I don't know what's going on. And I don't got no Wi-Fi or anything like that. I'm like plugged in.
I refreshed myself before I watched the replay just to make sure I got everything clear. And it refreshed just fine, so I'm not sure. because the stream is working.
Alright.
There's actively.
And watching.
It's good. Yeah, it's
Alright.
running.
Next run.
So we're ready. Ruthless and Agreed. Ruthless is going to be leading, and then Agreed's going to be in the chase. So whenever Cone Car is ready.
We got our next bracket.
Don't hit the gun car, Ruthless. Alright, here we go.
All right, we got Ruthless in lead for their first run. Agreed in the chase. Initiating into that first zone, beautiful there. A little shallow on that first outer zone. To the second, a little shallow, not quite as close to the sidewalk as we'd like to see. Getting right up on that sidewalk on the third zone into the inner clip. Shallow on the fourth zone into the final zone across the finish line. That final zone was beautiful. Tires literally pressing up against the sidewalk. All right, we're gonna get Agreed brought around here for his lead.
Let's flip these boys around, see how this turns out.
And whenever Cone Car is ready.
Right, got Ruthless in his chase into the first zone here. Ruthless dropped a tire on that first inner clip. Not sure if that was in proximity. Into the third zone here. Coming into the inner clip, Ruthless is giving a little contact to Agreed. Agreed in that fourth zone does a beautiful job there. In the final zone, dropping a tire, but it looks like Ruthless might have tapped him into that, causing him to drop a tire on that sidewalk over the finish line.
So that tire drop on Ruthless, in my opinion, was out of proximity. It was just a little bit too far back. Any closer, you know, it would have been, you know, warranted to watch it back for a replay, but just, it was just a little too far off for that. So I am counting that tire drop on your chase. But
Push
had
to
a really clean chase as well. I think there was the one that I am going to need to look back as well.
He had one tiny bit of contact going into the inner,
Yeah, that's all I'm needing though.
but Ruthless had quite a bit of contact in like 2 or 3 different spots around that inner, and pushed him into a tire drop in the last zone, and dropped a tire.
I'm just making sure for my own clarity that I'm going to call this right. I need to watch
Yeah.
that back for.
For me, it's going to go to Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. It's good. I agree. It's going to agree. Yeah.
Ruthless is tight.
He filled the zone. He filled the zones better.
Yeah.
In the chat, he said that Agreed was going a little slow in that final zone.
That's for him to chase. I mean, he can go. I mean, he doesn't have to be full throttle through the zone.
I think the minimum you can go is what, like 30, I think. I don't think he was going that slow, but to me, what got it was the drop tire from Ruthless on his chase.
Yeah, I'm going with Agreed on this one.
On Ruthless's lead going into the hairpin, he had a few corrections, and Agreed just had a smoother lead and better chase.
So next up, we will have Temple in the lead, and Tokes, Captain Tokes.
All right.
Chase.
That Navy Audi. Tempo in his chaser. Good old faithful chaser. He's always in that thing.
Yes.
I'm ready when Cone Car is ready.
All right. Here we go. Descending it. It's the initiation and that first inner clip. Beautiful job there. It's that first zone. Amazing. Temple is painted sidewalks with his tires. Coming into that inner clip, Captain Tokes giving a little bit of contact, a little love as they come to this final zone. Beautiful job.
Oh, jeez. That's all we need.
They're not making it easy.
Give us a minute, boys.
Whenever Coke car's ready.
All right, here we go. There's just two boys off.
Yep, we got Temple to chase, Tokes in the lead. Gotta get a little bit second. I don't know, good couple zones there. By Tokes, a little shallow on this third zone into the inner clip there. Good fourth zone into the final zone with Temple trying to close that gap, and he does across the finish line. Beautiful run. Let's see what the judges got to
Those some
say
good
about
runs,
that.
man. Those were
Yeah,
definitely some good runs.
I'm watching this over again here.
But yeah, that was.
Lead to lead, I think Temples was a little bit better. Chase to chase, I think Captain's was a little bit better. I think that contact that Captain had was less substantial than the contact Temple had. Nobody dropped tires.
Yeah, I know. I'm having to watch these back myself just to see.
Captain was real shallow into the first outer of the horseshoe. He was real shallow into the first outer. He was shallow in the second outer. That's because he got tapped.
On his lead.
Yeah. I think the lead from Temple was
Temple had a
quite
great lead.
a bit better overall. And his chase was better overall too, except for that the space created because of that contact. I mean, other than that, he even got the proximity back up real close after that into the horseshoe.
He did.
Kept
I'm watching it now. I'm right there at it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Temple on this one, man. His lead and just his chase for the consistency on that, man. That lead was great. The decel into touch and go 3 for the inner clip was there.
I'm gonna watch this back one more time before I make my final decision.
Yeah.
I'm watching
Tokes hit it
it.
too. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Tokes hit that too. I just feel like it was just a little bit stronger off of Temple's end. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like their chases were comparable, like I said, with that separation, but with Captain missing those couple zones, the first outer, and then almost missing the first outer of the horseshoe. I don't think that the additional effect of that contact would rule that out. So I think I'd have to give it to Temple also.
Well,
Definitely
I'm
both good
overruled,
runs.
but I was going to go with Tokes.
I just, man, and I get it. They're both great runs, and it comes down to just nitpicking.
Yeah,
You know, just
I
little
was giving
minor
it to
stuff,
Tokes.
man. Yeah, that's all it comes down to, unfortunately, man. We're gonna move on down to the first loss bracket. We're gonna get that set up and adjusted real quick. So we got that on screen as well. I'll make sure everyone is able to see this. We're gonna have Outlaw and Damien Bro. Outlaw is gonna be leading.
We got Outlaw and Damien. We got Tokes in the chat tagging you guys.
Yeah, no, I heard it. I'm going to it now. I just pulled up Discord.
All right, here we go. We got Damien in the chase.
Hang on.
Outlaw in the lead. Should we
Check,
cancel?
hang. Tokes, I gave you my vote, bro.
I was in the middle of reading the chat.
Yeah,
I was
Tokes, I gave you
acknowledging
my vote.
Tokes.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me, Tokes, but I did give you my vote. They went with Temple. Oh, okay. So why are you tagging me? like,
Oh, because
I was just-
you're a
oh,
judge.
okay. I was just like, hold up, I'm in your corner.
Trust me, you weren't
You
getting
good.
ignored. I'm trying to run the stream and
Yeah, yeah. I
do
mean,
a.
like, I'm fighting for you.
I mean,
Whether you contest it, I mean, you can contest it, but we came to the
I mean,
decision. I mean,
I get it, bro, but I've also been called too when the lead driver was shallow in 3 of the 5 zones. And it just comes down to what's called. The contact wasn't enough to make. You didn't drop a tire or anything. Temple didn't drop a tire. The contact wasn't enough to throw you off, so the contact was aggression from the chase driver.
we're not
It
counting
just.
the shallow zone against you that he caused.
He hit me causing my lead line off into the side, into the inside.
We didn't count the shallow zone.
Yeah, that didn't. You should have been able to recover by that first outer zone. It shouldn't have caused you to come that shallow into that first outer zone into the horseshoe.
And that leeway was given. So we want that to be acknowledged too. We're not holding that against you for that zone.
We should hold it against him.
I mean, I'm watching the replay of it
It's
again right
not
now.
what. The contact wasn't enough aggression to make anything, is what we're saying.
He said he tapped my
You
ass.
weren't shallow because of his contact. If anything, it'd have pushed you out further into the zone if he would have hit you enough to push you.
Well, he was shallow into the first outers or into the second outer zone because of the
I'm
contact.
going to watch it back now.
I'm watching it right now. He definitely should have
So
been
I'm
able
up
to
to
recover.
review it. That's fine. I'm up to review it.
You should have been able to recover by the first outer of that horseshoe. You were
He
shallow
caused
on the first
my line to
outer,
be. He caused
shallow on
my
the second
line to
outer
be off.
because of him, and then you were shallow, basically missed the entire third outer before the horseshoe, and that wasn't because of him. That was after the fact, completely after the next turn.
He caused
my
my line to be off, which equals bad lead line. Of course, his is better. Well, while we're getting this today,
We're not counting.
today's comp is going to be sponsored
We're
by
not counting
Kirby.
that lead, that part of the lead against you that he threw you off into that zone.
Look, if you're messed up in the second zone, that does not set you up correctly for the third touch and go. He kind of does have a point there, Sparky. He does have a point there,
Look,
Sparky.
but okay, but that doesn't constitute for the shallow second touch and go.
It constitutes for the second touch and go, but not the
Look,
third.
what I'm saying, okay, but what I'm judging off of is if you go back and watch his first run compared to Temple's, he's shallow in the first touch and go. He's shallow into the second touch and go. Then he
Which
comes
was
into the
Temple's
third
fault.
touch and go. He hits that just fine, still a little shallow, perfect on the inner clip, and then comes into the other zone, and then he's back out for the finish. And then once he hits that finish, he's right on the edge of the back side of it. You had shallow zones compared to where Temple didn't. That's what I'm judging off of.
Yeah, well, the point is he's saying that his first shallows or the second outer zone, the outer, the first outer was shallow because of him. The second outer was shallow because of Temple. Then I'm saying he should have been able to recover and not been super shallow into the first outer of the horseshoe. That didn't cause him to be shallow into that first outer of the horseshoe. He should have easily been able to recover by that time. He had 200 yards of 150 yards of concrete to judge the speed into that second outer zone.
Today's comp is sponsored by Kirby Vacuums.
That's my point.
I mean, that's why I have the judges able to talk and speak with the, the drivers to contest this.
He did hold your transition up between 1 and 2. That's why we're saying that you're out. The second outer clip isn't your fault, but the third outer clip, you almost missed that completely. The first one into the horseshoe there, and that was your fault. You should have been able to correct in that amount of time to not be that shallow into that outer zone. And you also contacted him before the last outer zone, and he corrected before that last outer zone to not drop a tire into that zone. So you had contact on him in your chase also. It wasn't just him that had contact in the chase. That's why I said you both had contact in the chase before. And it's not the contact on the additional contact on you wasn't enough to justify how much better his lead was than yours. He hit filled all the zones, regardless of the contact. And I'm not counting the contact, the zone that you didn't fill after his contact against you. That's a moot point. The you were shallow in the first zone. You were shallow in the.
Yo,
right.
never agreed. Get some of those. Yo, never. Totes, man, bro. I just let it. Just I'm outnumbered, bro. It's like really nothing.
Elimination bracket either. But we have Outlaw up in the lead, and we have Damien in the chase.
All right, here we go. Damien and Outlaw.
But I see where Totes is coming from, though.
Little tire drop on that first inner clip, shallow on the first outer. The second into the third with the D-cell, drops the tire into the inner clip. Damien, bro, pushing him around a little bit, little love contact there. 1 or 2 tires up on that sidewalk is hard to tell. I want to say 2, but it looks like that could have been.
That was.
It was 2, but it looked like it might have been a little contact.
I agree.
Hard to tell.
Damien said he did not hit him.
Never cone cars
That should be
ready.
a replay for sure.
Oh.
It's hard because it's like if I'm looking at the drone in the air, I can't really see if they drop 2 tires barely or not.
Yeah.
So like I gotta be low enough with just enough.
All right, here we go. Damien in the third outer zone, touching that sidewalk with one of his tires. I don't know if that's enough to be considered a tire drop. The Outlaw is trying to close this gap. Just not able to get as close as Damien Bro, but Damien Bro did have a little bit more love taps on Outlaw that, could have caused some errors, but we'll see what the judges have to say.
Definitely taking a look back at the finish on Damien's chase.
Yeah,
Just to see where that's at.
He didn't touch him in that double tire drop.
Okay. Then that would be a DNF on Outlaw. And even though Damien had a drop on touch and go 3, it would still be a in advance for
I'm
Damien on
going back to Outlaws lead run now just to make sure, because it looked like he dropped 2 on that last zone, but it could have been there because of the angle where I was at. So I'm just making sure before I give my side.
He definitely put 2 up there.
The thing I don't understand is in chat right now, Ashton and Captain are talking about it, and it's like we made the decision we made. We're not going to go back and review it a bunch more times and come to a different conclusion. We came to the conclusion after we'd reviewed it 20 or 30 times. We've watched the footage a bunch of times. So unless you're going back and looking at it a bunch of times on YouTube and watching it like we are, then it doesn't matter. I mean,
I understand where they coming from because they want to know like a full detail.
well, we gave the details. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
We're moving on.
No,
Yeah.
I think Ashton was telling Toast just let it go, but yeah, Ashton said just let it go, bro. I know how you feel. When we change needs to, just move on. Well,
so it won't change. It needs to. It doesn't need to change.
like,
I mean, we're doing
my
the
thing
best.
is like I can understand. Like I
We're
said,
doing
I went with Toast. I can understand if somebody else overturn their vote, then we can reverse the decision. You see what I'm saying? Then maybe that can get changed. But if it's 3 judges and I'm going with 1 and 2 other people, them 2 other people overshadow whatever I got to say. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to tell Tokes. Even though I understand like where he's coming from. Trust me, bro. When I was doing comps, I want a full fucking book report on why the fuck I lost. Trust me. So like I said, I fully understand what you're saying. But like I said, for real, I do. I'm not even trying to be funny. I really do, bro. And Ashton can back me up with that. When I lose, I want to know why I lost, especially if I put up a good ass run. So
I know, right?
yeah, so
It's very frustrating not getting not
bro.
getting a
So
decision
I
from
don't
the
want
judge or
Toast
a
to feel
reasoning.
like, oh, I'm just saying it and I'm just leaving it.
Yeah.
No, bro, it's just
That's
what
why
it is.
that's why we sit here while we do, and you can hear us talk and hear the reason and hear us debate and hear us go over and review and all that good stuff. We're not trying to hide anything. We want you to hear it as we're seeing it. It's nothing's hidden. Judges aren't sitting in another chat. You
Right.
know, we have y'all in the event center so y'all can hear us. You know, we do it for a reason.
Yeah.
We're not hiding anything.
But that's what another thing. Everybody, don't just do that if y'all see somebody. I think everybody, y'all remember, y'all are y'all own lawyers. Y'all got to stand up for yourself. If y'all in other comps and y'all feel like y'all get a bullshit ass response, man, stand up and say that shit. I don't give a fuck what compliment. If I feel like I'm getting cheated, man, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain.
I've
Here's the
definitely been there.
reasoning. I feel like he made that contact into you, and that caused you to be short into the second touch and go. And I feel like you should have been able to recover and not be super shallow on the next touch and go because of that. I feel like you had ample time after that, the touch and go that he messed you up into, to after that zone, then come out and correct into the first touch and go of that horseshoe. That's the reason.
On top of touch and go 1, because the contact happened after.
Yeah, for sure. So you're shallow.
On top of that, you were shallow in 1. You hit You hit the inner clip perfect, but we got to move on. We got to get to this. We got to decide Damien and Outlaw.
Yeah.
Outlaw did have a DNF on him in his lead.
Yeah.
With the lead. So that's gonna have to go to Damien.
It's going to Damien for sure.
Next up we got No Slide and Kai Suhara. LDT versus LDT.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Since they run together all the time.
And the other fact is the Ruthless had contact into Temple into the last zone, and Temple didn't come up short or go over in that zone. He almost hit that zone perfect in spite of the contact. So there was contact on both sides too. So that's another.
Yeah, nobody's disregarding the contact.
Yeah. All my neighbor downstairs fucking this girl, yo. I can hear that shit.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this moaning? Yo, what the fuck?
No disregarding the contact, dude. I'm not disregarding.
Hey, we gotta move on. We'll handle it
Yeah.
after. No slide and Kai Suhara. No slide's in the lead. Kai Suhara's in the chase. We're gonna get this
Let's
going.
get it going.
Bag, you're wild, bro.
This is a family-friendly Minecraft server. Thank you very much. No
Yeah,
slide.
Shit,
Matsuhara.
Sorry, Gabe.
So wide.
We had some lag there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think
We're gonna run that back. We're gonna go ahead and bring that one back, fellas.
guys. Bring that back to the start
Just-
line.
Yeah. Go ahead and bring that one back. There's definitely some lag there coming out of touch and go one. He jumped. If you're not driving on the track, if you can remain parked, it helps with connection and connectivity for the
If you
drivers
guys
running.
turn off your engines, that helps even more. Alright, this slides lead. That's a hard chase. Coming up to initiation into the first inner clip. A lot better this time. A little shallow on that first outer zone to the second. Beautiful sweeping across there into third. Dropping a tire and overshoots it. Oh no. Yep, Kai's going to continue his run.
Or not.
Or not.
Either way, we had a DNF on the lead. Drivers, if the lead does that, continue your run.
Yep, just finish it out.
Please continue it out. Whenever your car's ready.
Alright.
Alright, let's get this going. Katsuhara's lead over. The slide jumps a little too fast, causing him to hit the brakes, and Katsuhara flies right by. And Katsuhara coming into the second outer zone. A little shallow in the first one, it looked like. Good third zone. A little shaky coming into the inner clip. In the fourth zone, a little shallow, almost missing it into the final zone here. No slide. Reeling in that gap towards the end. But not.
We did have a DNF on no slide for his lead.
Yeah.
To me, that's just gonna go to Kai off the DNF. Kai was able to complete a lead run and get that put down pretty solid. A couple was shallow in some of the zones, but nonetheless a lead run. Next up, we're gonna have Captain Tokes and Damien, bro.
I think Tokes is gone, I think.
Yeah, Toke's gone.
Well, then that's just gonna go ahead and advance Damien. Next up, we're gonna have, is Ruthless still around? Is Ruthless in the lobby? Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have Ruthless and Kai. Ruthless is gonna be in the lead. And then whenever Cone Car's ready.
Let's get it. Ruthless versus Kai. Into the first inner clip, a little wide there by Ruthless, and wide on the first outer zone here in the second one. A little shallow there as well. Coming, oh no! Looks like Ruthless was about to drop a tire already before Katsuhara hit him, but ended up getting a bunch of contact in zone 3 by Katsuhara.
Damien wants to know if they can do a buy run.
Right after this, we'll give Damien his buy run.
Yeah, he was already dropped 2 tires right as he hit it.
Yep, I saw that. That is unfortunate.
And whenever cone car's ready.
Okay.
Katsuhara's lead. Ruthless chase here in the first inner clip. Beautiful zone there into the outer zone.
Damn,
Great job here, Katsuhara and Ruthless. Oh no, it's a double DNF.
We're gonna have to get it one more time. Oh, the way we're gonna see this back is Kai's gonna lead again with the Ruthless in the chase.
Jim,
Back off.
initiation was so sick, dude. You came in there with like 10, 15 degrees more angle than he had.
That was beautiful. That was a good one.
That was
I
nice.
was hoping that third touch and go stuck, because if it did, man, that'd have been perfect on a finish for Ruthless. That'd have been a phenomenal chase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see if
whenever
he can
drivers and
mimic
cone
that.
car are ready.
Here we go. We got Katsuhara Ruthless again for OMT after a double DNF into the initiation and inner clip here in first outer zone. Beautiful job by Katsuhara with Ruthless trying to reel that door in the third outer zone, coming into the inner clip. Ruthless skipping a little bit of contact into the fourth zone here, a little shallow by Katsuhara in the last zone. Finishing out with Ruthless right on that door. That was a beautiful run by both drivers. No tire drops that I saw. So definitely a huge improvement on this OMT.
Whenever cone car and drivers are ready.
I thought I was definitely playing it a little bit safe not to drop any tires on his lead run. So let's see what happens with Ruthless and his lead. As they come into the initiation and first inner clip, Ruthless into the first outer zone. Katsuhara dropping the tire on the sidewalk, and Ruthless doing the same in the second outer zone. Into the third zone here in that decel. Into the second inner clip, a little wide there into the fourth zone. Katsuhara reeling in that door in that last zone with Ruthless dropping the tire over the finish line. But will that be counted over the finish line, past it, or before it?
I need to review that tire drop or that tire to see where it dropped before I deem it a tire drop. So I am definitely going to review that real quick before I give my answer on that.
I'll watch it again too.
That was like on the checkers.
Which is the zone, so that would be considered a drop. Yeah, that one tire did hit. Nonetheless, it did hit. Let's go back to... I'm watching Ruthless's lead now, because I believe there's that contact on the chase. I see you, Ruthless. I'm watching for you to type. That would give Ruthless like he'd be a +1 on a tire drop if we canceled the drop from Kai and Touch and Go 2 from Ruthless. So if we canceled those two out, there'd still be a tire drop on Ruthless for his lead.
He's saying that it's not a full tire, but it definitely looks like a full tire.
I mean, the tire went up on the curb. We can see the car adjust in the video. I mean, that's a clear indication when the rear end of the car lifts up. That's a clear indication that you've hit
Yeah,
the curb and you're on it.
on this line, the curbs are drops.
Everything we've always counted. If you hit that curb, it's a drop. You tucked it, and the crazy thing is, bro, is you tucked on your last run. You tucked the shit out of that last zone too. Like you were right in the pocket. Like you were right up on it. So we know you can hit it. It's just you went just a hair too far, and you did go up on the curb because you tucked it your last run. We know you can hit it. It's just your +1 on a tire drop and your lead on that. I'm going back to watch Kai's lead now, so I can compare these.
He had
We're
that
definitely a one
zone
more time.
and that huge correction around that inner in
Yeah.
that one in Qatar's lead. He had just a massive correction in that zone.
Yeah. So we're gonna get Ruthless back up for the lead and Kai Sohara in the chase. Get this back for one more time. Yeah, like I was saying on that chase, I definitely got to watch it from multiple angles. Over, you can't just watch one perspective. You got to pay attention to different details of the run, why it's happening, where the cars are positioned, stuff like that. So whenever Cone Car's ready.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna send these boys off for another OMT. Ruthless in his lead run here.
Qatar's in middle.
Yeah. Oh, is that a double on that first outer zone?
That was a dubs.
Man,
You know he's gonna finish this one off.
they're gonna finish this run out for Katsuhara's lead. Anything can still happen, folks, so it's not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Katsuhara leading this next run.
That is such a sick livery on that car. So simple. It's so rad.
Whenever Cone Car's ready.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go. Katsuhara in the first inner clip. Beautiful job there, putting that tire right by that sidewalk. Into the second zone, decel in the third zone. Coming into that inner clip, beautiful run here by Katsuhara. Ruthless James is shutting it down as he gives in a big contact in that inner clip there. It's unfortunate for Ruthless.
Ruthless says I might as well just slam into.
Yeah, might as well just total this thing.
Hey man, it happens. It is what it is, man. It just happens, unfortunately. Name of the game. Pretty clear on the winner on this one, fellas.
Yep.
Yep.
We go.
So now we got Damien Bro and Kai Suhara. Damien's gonna be in the lead, Kai in the chase.
Is this a battle for first in the losers bracket?
No, there's still another. There's still gonna be one more. We still gotta run up in the top bracket.
All right, you ready, Justin?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right.
Let's get it. Katsuhara and Damien in the lead. Coming that first inner clip. Beautiful job there in that first outer clip. Katsuhara is putting the heat on him by getting up right there on his door in this third outer zone. Damien Bro did have a tire come up on that sidewalk. A little bit of a transition block by Katsuhara, making Damien Bro lose his footing on that last outer zone and dropping a tire. Couple of cause and effect situation there. We're gonna have Katsuhara coming around for his lead
Whenever you're
run.
ready.
Right.
Crazy's gonna send him off here. Katsuhara coming into initiation on the first inner clip. Beautiful. That first outer zone. Damien Bro reeling that door in. Coming around to the third outer zone. Decelling that inner clip. A little shallow in that third outer zone. The fourth zone is pretty good there. And really shallow in that last clip. Damien Bro spinning out due to all that angle. That's going to be over the finish line, I believe.
I'm not gonna count. Yeah, I'm not counting that spin. That's nothing. Coming across that line is key. Once you're crossing that line, do what you want. I do know that we had some tire drops on Damien in his lead run, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the second one might have caused contact with them.
Yeah, I'm going back now.
No, it was just. I think it was caused by the delayed transition because of the contact.
I'm watching Damien's lead now. Yeah, we had the one barely in touch and go 3, and then he wasn't into the inner clip enough as well. Kai had a better inner clip for the hairpin. Watching this back again for the finish. Trying to still frame it.
Yeah, Katsuhara almost completely missed the first outer in the horseshoe.
So when do y'all think that contact initiated for that final zone?
I think right before the transition, which made him transition a little late and caused him to go wide. Up.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I do think that pushed him a little bit, just with the momentum. That can definitely alter the line there. So that tire drop's not going to be held against him, but that still leaves one tire drop in touching a 3 compared to Kai's that was not there. I will say that Damien's chase was there. He was on him.
Yeah, I think it needs to go one more time.
Yeah, I need to see this back. We're going to have Kai Suhara in the lead and Damien in the chase.
Here we go again.
Whenever home car's ready.
That's just the way it is. Here we go. Damien Bro in the chase this time for an OMT. Sending it a little bit too hard. Oh no, that is bad news for Damien on his chase. Katsuhara's gonna go ahead and finish this run out. And we're gonna switch it back around for Damien's lead. Oh no, that's what he's saying right now.
Ernie. Here again. Timian comes putting back.
He's just idling back.
Whenever Cone Car's ready, I'm ready as well.
Oh, don't act like you blew a head gasket now.
he blew an apex seal.
Oh yeah. Man. Oh.
Spit that thing.
Here we go. Damien, bro, gonna take the lead here. Anything can still happen. So this is still exciting to see what is gonna take place here. Looks like we might have had a couple tire drops already. That's a hard dropping a tire in that third zone, but was he in proximity? Damien, bro, dropping a tire over the finish line. Bloop.
He's a wild
Oh no!
Oh no!
man.
And I did that without the dropper on.
Gotta go to Katsuhara.
Gotta go to
Yeah,
Katsuhara.
man, I'm gonna have to go to Cat on this one.
Cat actually beat Damien.
Katsuhara-san.
So now we're actually gonna move back up
That's
to
wild.
the original
We're gonna
bracket,
move.
and we're gonna watch Agreed and Temple.
We're gonna
Agreed's gonna be
move.
leading, Temple in the chase.
Agreed with Malty's garage on the car there.
I agree. He's got a beautiful livery there.
You do that so
So
good.
whenever Cone Car's ready.
Beautiful looking car.
I love it.
This man's a whole spot over here, yo.
We've got Temple chasing Agreed here in this first inner clip over the first outer into the second. Look at this line mimicking by Temple coming into the inner clip here after the third touch and go into the fourth, mimicking that line, getting on that door of Agreed over the finish line in that GR86.
It's a beautiful
I'm
run.
gonna tell you, it takes a lot to have a hell of a chase run.
The power of the Maltese, mate.
It takes a lot. It takes even more from the lead to put down a clean lead to allow it to happen.
It's just a beautiful run.
It's
Fabulous.
Beautiful run there, man.
Fabulous. Wonderful.
Oh my haggis.
Or not. Here we go.
Here we go, man. Jokes aside, we got Agreed and Temple. Agreed's chasing Temple this time. Initiating into that first inner clip over the first outer zone into the second. Agreed, losing a little bit of proximity, but bringing it back in over in the third zone. Hit the brakes, diving in on a Temple's door. Temple knocking that sign out for some X Factor points over the finish line with Agreed right on that tail in that Monty's 8-6.
Got that, mate.
At the proximity gap for Agreed on his chase. It's kind of like the only thing I really got to look at. They both threw a hell of a lead, hell of a chase.
It's like
If I got my vote there, mate, yeah, I have to go with the Sir Temple there, mate.
Man, with that around that horseshoe, the Temple was planted on his door with his front fender.
Yeah.
Temple was driving like he was a robot.
AI, bro.
I robot, mate.
My vote's gonna have to go for Temple on this one, man. Just overall, there wasn't a proximity gap for him in his chase compared to Agreed's, where Temple got it a little bit from 2 to 3. I think even coming out of 1 into 2 is where it really started.
There wasn't
Just
really a difference in lead either. They both filled the zones out pretty good. Temple was a little
exactly.
Agreed was a little bit short into the first outer of the horseshoe, but Temple filled those zones beautifully. Yeah, I'd have to give it to Temple just by a slight margin.
Barely. If this come down to numbers, it'd probably be somewhere along the line of like 87 to 86. I mean, it'd be that fucking close, man.
Yeah, that was really
It
damn.
we'd be yeah. We're combing hairs here at the moment.
Yeah.
So now we actually got to see Agreed and Kai run this out.
Agreed in Katsuhara.
Agreed and Kaisuhara.
All right.
Agreed's gonna be in the lead with Kaisuhara in the chase.
Is this a battle for third?
Um. Yes.
The
All
battle
right.
for sixth place there, mate.
So who's got? They both have one loss, right?
Yes, they both have 1 loss. Temple's the only one left remaining with no losses.
So whoever wins this has to go against Temple and has to win 2 against him.
Yes.
All right.
Oof.
And
That's
whenever Konkar is ready.
All right.
This is gonna be good. All right. Oh, Kasahara in the chase. Agreed. Getting up on those railroad track from the beginning. That's gonna be counting against him for sure. Into this third outer zone. Kasahara is reeling in that door around that inner clip into the fourth zone. Agreed. Bringing it around to that final zone. Kasahara right on him.
So I did miss the first bit of that. My computer kind of jumped screens on me. What happened there from start to initiation? I
Yeah,
heard something.
agreed. Put his left front tire up on the railroad tracks in initiation.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I needed clarification up front.
Yep.
We got a ton.
I'm getting these names put in.
Very, very quiet.
That's always been a restricted area. Agreed from the beginning.
Whenever Konkar's ready.
Definite. It's been mentioned multiple times. That's for sure.
We
We've had
call we call it on somebody on Wednesday.
It was mentioned at the very beginning of the competition. Or week 2, sorry. Week 2. Mentioned at the beginning of week 2.
All right, Kasahara coming into that first inner zone a little bit wide. Coming into the second outer zone, beautiful outer zone into the third. A little contact by Agreed, a little big corrections by Agreed coming into his chase. Trying to get in that pocket. Kasahara dropping a tire.
I don't know.
It was kind of wonky there at the end, man. I don't know what was going on.
I would almost say that was a borderline unchaseable lead at the end there around the horseshoe. That was really weird. He almost,
Definitely.
I don't know, he almost over angled, then almost over angled again, then got back on the throttle again. I don't know. That was a really tough lead to
I just need
chase.
to see what happens going into the inner clip for the hairpin. Because that's where Agreed kind of ate the wall. Okay,
Yeah.
so the contact off of Agreed was on himself. So coming into that inner clip, Kai was,
Oh, there was contact there.
well, that's what I'm saying. The contact into the wall was caused by himself. But then again, with that being said, Kai was shallow which allowed him to go into that hairpin inner clip. It's weird because it's the way that Kai came into touch and go 3 that he was able to swing so hard for that angle, which shot him through that inner clip and pushing him more shallow, kind of like shotgunning him through touch and go 3 into the inner clip. Let him be really shallow into that zone. So with Agreed trying to chase, that kind of threw him off.
Yeah. It kind of cut
And
him off.
he had a choke up too. Like if you watch before he hits that wall, he chokes it.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. That's
he
what I'm saying.
noticed that was gonna happen. So I mean, even though that the contact into that was him,
He came
it
really
was
shallow. That
caused.
choked him
It
out.
was
And
because of the lead.
that's why I'm saying it was almost an unchaseable lead into that horseshoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we had the drop over the train track on Agreed's lead as well.
I think it needs to be one more time.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with it myself. I'd like to see this back with Kai in the lead and Agreed chasing.
I wanted to just see Kai's lead because of that little bump when Agreed was chasing. But if y'all want to do a full OMT, that's fine.
I just thought it was too. I think it was just too mumbled of a run, too fumbled of a run to make a call on.
Yeah. Too many little minor technicals as well in the run, so we're just gonna allow the one more time and go from here for top 3.
For sure.
There's no new competitors anyways into the mix. We're down to 3, so we'll just call it the one more time whenever Concour's ready.
Right. We are having an ONT with some crazy runs. Alpahara in the lead going into that first first outer zone into the second.
We need to restart this. That was yep. There it is again.
There it is again.
Yeah.
It's all right. Let's restart the run. Everybody's under 30 except me.
Yeah. Usually when
And I'm
that
hosting
happens
the
and
lobby.
everybody's low ping, it's usually because the lobby's just getting old.
Okay, more.
Well, if it depending on the way it goes, we could have 2 or 3 more runs. So
Yeah. Pull up,
let's
go.
just, we're gonna try and get through it single lobby.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Oh.
If we have to reset, we will. Whenever Concour's ready.
All right.
Alright, here we go. Resetting after a little bit of lag. Katsuhara in the lead. Green chasing into the second outer zone here. Beautiful zones by Katsuhara so far. That third outer zone into that inner clip. Getting right up on that sidewalk, dropping a tire with a green right behind him. A little bit of a shallow outer zone all across the finish line. Hopefully this run will be a little bit more clear for the judges to call. Just need Agreed to throw down a solid lead. But
Whenever Concour's ready.
if Katsuhara can put the pressure on him on the chase, who knows? Anything can happen. Agreed on the inner clip. Into the first outer zone. Katsuhara trying to close this gap as they come into zone 3. Agreed's a little shallow in zone 3, coming into the inner clip in zone 4. Beautiful job on the inner clip in zone 4 across the finish line. Great clip is there as well there. Katsuhara did have a little bit of a proximity loss, so we'll see what the judges call it.
Did Agreed have a tire drop on his lead? Is that what I heard correctly?
It looked.
I didn't see one.
Okay. I heard tire drop somewhere. I'm
I
going
think
to go
that
back
was
and watch.
I don't
Or
believe.
was it on Kai's chase for his initiation? Is that what we were referring to? Because I think that did happen.
Yeah. Katsuhara had a drop on his chase outside of proximity.
I'm gonna have to go with greed.
Yeah.
From this one more time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So that puts Kai Suhara in third. Is what that does. So we're gonna go ahead and move up agreed. So now we have Temple and agreed. And we've seen this matchup already once tonight.
last time we had this matchup. Temple was able to take the dub. Temple's currently has 0 losses. Agreed has 1 loss. All
Yeah,
Temple
so
has to do is beat Agreed 1 time, and he is officially holding the crown for week 2. But if Agreed can take out Temple 2 times in a row, Agreed will take the crown himself. So we'll see how these runs go.
the
And
ultimate show.
whenever Cone Car's ready.
All right, here we go.
Alright. It is going down the rail with Temple in the lead. Always painting that sidewalk, almost dropping, but not dropping. Coming into zone 3, into that inner clip, throwing that angle out there. Big correction by Temple, throwing it out to zone 4. Agreed. Coming across behind Temple on that final zone.
Smack you another one.
My throat's itching. I need to though. Maybe that'll take
Yo.
soothes the throat.
Alright. We're going to come back around with
And
Agreed.
whenever Cone Car's ready.
All right, here we go.
In the chase. Going to zone 1. Inner clip 1, zone 1, outer zone 1, zone 2. Temple literally haunting him as he gives him a little bit of contact, pushing him along into the inner clip in zone 4. Across the finish line here. Looks
That
like
was a hell of a chase.
that
Okay?
was.
I want to acknowledge the fact that that contact was nothing but pure aggression into a chase and
Right.
nothing more. It wasn't enough to constitute tire drops, push him out of his line, out of the zones. He didn't drop going out of the inner clip into zone
Right.
3. That chase was pure aggression.
Beautiful.
With that being said, on Temple's lead, he did have that major correction on the inner clip, and which would technically be 2 zones because he doxed out touch and go 3, which caused the inner clip. So for me on the chase, it would be those 2 zones collectively that weren't paired that caused that to happen for the correction, and then the your shallow into 4. So that whole hairpin in itself was kind of off for Temple in his lead. So I give the lead, between the leads it goes to Temple, between the chase they go to Temple, between the leads it goes to Agreed. That's how I'm sitting at this.
It's a tough one.
It is. We gotta hear what Crazy and Bagman gotta say about it.
I'm watching it over again right now.
Saw a lot of corrections and Temple almost overshot it coming out of the hairpin on that one. What's that? Outer zone 3. Coming out of the hairpin.
Out of the hairpin would be 4, yeah.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, he almost overshot it right there. On Agreed's chase, he missed a whole.
Only discrepancy I really see in Agreed's lead is the being shallow into the first outer of the horseshoe again. He's not getting out to that manhole cover. But other than that, It was great.
I'm going back on I'm going back on these leads still now.
His
I'm gonna
chase
check
was phenomenal too. I mean, the only place there was really separation was, I mean, his initiation was unreal. The only place there was separation was between 2 and 3, and that's because
Yeah.
Temple didn't have much angle. I mean, he was right up in his door all the way through the end of that, and
Yeah.
even through that bobble that Temple had. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it to Agreed.
I'm watching these chases now.
Overall, he
Dude
missed that.
Dude suction
Overall,
cup to
Agreed
his
missed
door
the
through
one
the.
zone completely
Yeah.
on this chase.
Agreed's real close to his door through that whole section too. The only reason he backed off a little bit in that section is because Temple bobbled and didn't
Yeah.
really
I'm watching.
go through
I'm
that
watching
section.
1, 2, and 3 as well. From initiation to zone 3, I'm gonna watch on these chases, just to give Agreed an answer. Those chases were relative. I mean, they were really close. Um, I do think that Agreed was a little tighter in there too. I'm going with Agreed on this one. We're gonna have to run this back. How this would work, I think, if it doesn't do it
Well,
correctly, we know where we're at. So
whoever
this
wins this,
goes to
wins it.
Agreed, and now we're back down to it with Agreed's gonna lead, and Temple's gonna chase.
Well, there you have it, folks. We're gonna run this again.
Here we go. The finals.
Whenever Cone's ready.
Was that a win for Agreed? Did I hear?
Was.
He's gonna do it again. Here we
Oh, it's an
go.
OMT. All right, let's do it. Agreed in the lead. Temple coming around on his bumper into zone 2 and zone 3, hitting that decel. Agreed, bringing it back around for that inner clip. Beautiful job here. Both drivers controlling their cars the way it should be controlled.
Very solid, dude.
This is great.
A great chase run too.
Hitting a ton
Yeah,
of
it was.
coming around that zone 3.
Whenever Cone car's ready.
All right, we're coming back around for Temple's lead. Into the first inner clip. Outer zone number 1. Great job here by both drivers into outer zone 2. Transitioning here, a little bit of a tap from Agreed into zone 3. Transition into the zone 4, tapping that sign out. Coming into the final zone across the finish line. Temple really cleaning it up that time.
Did we have a drop on touch and go 4 out of the inner clip?
On Temple?
On Temple,
I don't believe so.
I need to watch that back. I was too focused on trying to keep the drone, and then I took my eye off of the chase.
I think he just tapped that sign.
Yeah.
No, not a drop. On my screen, at least. Not a drop.
I don't think it was. I'm watching the lead back now, just for clarification, since it was mentioned. Timble's got this line on lock, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a good lead route.
He filling the zones was wild on his lead.
Bro, he's like every single zone up on the curb. Or right before the curb, I mean.
Yeah.
Dude didn't miss anything on his lead at all.
He said mine.
I gotta go watch Agreed's lead.
I'm watching them both again. I gotta.
Right. They both had great runs.
I would have to give it to Agreed. I think his chase was a little bit better. Just but just by like a small margin.
Oh no, man.
Agreed had a
Temple's
tiny bit of contact in the chase, but that's just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Damn.
Just
Yeah.
a tiny tap in the transition.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, it is aggression, but
I gotta
I
watch
need to see
Agreed.
that. I'm watching Agreed's. I gotta watch Agreed's chase for that
It didn't.
contact again.
It didn't really affect
That's what I'm
Temple's
saying. If it
line.
didn't affect the line, I'm not considering that.
No, it didn't really. That's why I say it wasn't really too
It
tough
was
at
like
all.
it was like a bumper brush.
So that I do see that. Um, yeah, man. He d-
I think Temple had just a slightly better lead is all.
the the commitment into that lead, man, for the zone fulfillment. I mean, he hit every single zone.
Well, he was
Every zone.
well Agreed was a tiny bit shallow into one, shallow into two. He was still didn't get out to the zone in three, almost did. Was a little shallow into the last touch and go around the horseshoe. It's just Temple's run was just a little bit more precise. He was
That's
maybe
what I'm saying. He
six
filled
inches,
every
six
zone.
inches to a
That's
foot closer on in every zone.
Agreed. Hit every zone. Temple filled every zone.
Temple,
That's the
well,
difference in the run.
agreed filled every zone. Temple completely filled every zone
Yeah,
to the curb
yeah.
without touching it.
That's another reason I like to stream to YouTube, man. We can sit here and watch these back live as we're doing them. Anybody
Definitely.
can sit here running back, compare them with us.
Yep.
Man, just for that, dude, just for the zone fulfillment on this final one more time with y'all too, I'm gonna have to go with Temple. Um, Zone fulfillment, man, on that
Mm-hmm.
lead. As far as chase, they were pretty comparable.
Yeah, they were
Um,
pretty damn close.
we're comparing two hell of drivers. Um, and if we were to nitpick the chase run, man, we can say that all day long that in certain zones that both drivers were getting pulled for their chase, and they instantly grabbed their proximity back. One of y'all might have done it from 1 to 2, the other one done it from 3 to the inner clip, and from the inner clip to 4. So those just balance each other out, man. Those are we're talking mark for mark on those. But comparing leads alone, man, Temple just filled those zones. I'm gonna go for Temple on this one.
Well, he didn't pull anywhere on you, agreed, and you didn't pull anywhere on him.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as the pull went to go happen, both of y'all were right back. There's nowhere that anybody, really had any major substantial, differences in their chase. They're so comparable.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So I mean, we can't really judge off chase. We have to judge
The
off
chase was
lead
not
because
five.
of the
The
chases
chase
being
was
so
not
clean.
500 closer, dude. It was a little bit closer in certain sections.
Yeah.
We're
You're
watching.
talking
We're
about
watching.
okay, look,
We're
agreed.
watching
You're
replays
talking
back.
about one zone. You're talking about one zone compared to where Temple filled, every zone. You were shallow on multiple zones in your lead. Go back and watch them. Temple put tires into the drainage line, without
Exactly.
touching the curb.
Cases are the same. Go back and watch them, agreed.
He
Go to
hit
the
that
YouTube channel and
sign,
watch
dude.
them back.
He clips that sign every single time.
Yeah, and he filled every zone perfect. It's going to Temple.
Yeah. So Temple's gonna take it in this one. We got Temple in first, Agreed in second, Kaisuhara in third.
We're gonna have a week 3 showdown with Agreed and Temple
On
because
Monday.
when week winner of week 1, and Temple's the winner of week 2. We all line up behind you guys. Katsura, line up on the other side of Temple.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.